Carlos Alcaraz withdraws from the Mutua Madrid Open due to a wrist injury. The world number 2, who was aiming to reclaim the top spot from Jannik Sinner, sees his progress halted at a key moment in the season. A major setback for Carlos Alcaraz, who has confirmed his absence from the Mutua Madrid Open after injuring his wrist at the Conde de Godó. The Spaniard suffers a second consecutive blow, retirement in Barcelona and withdrawal from Madrid for the second year in a row. There are pieces of news that are very hard to announce. Madrid is home, one of the most special places on the calendar for me, and that's why it hurts so much not being able to play here for the second consecutive year, the Spaniard said in a post on his social media. It especially hurts not being able to be in front of my fans, in a tournament that is so special, he added, thanking everyone for the constant support. The injury, sustained during his debut against Otto Virtanen, turned out to be more serious than initially expected. I thought it wouldn't get worse. But it's a slightly more serious injury than we expected, explained the player, who even had to receive medical attention on court before finishing the match. A key moment. The world number 2, who was aiming to reclaim the top ranking from Jannik Sinner, sees his momentum halted at a crucial point in the season. Madrid, where he was champion in 2022 and 2023, will once again be without its local star. The focus now shifts to being fit for the Rome Masters 1000 and Roland Garros. His absence adds to that of Novak Djokovic, leaving the Madrid tournament without two of its biggest names. The €1 million prize awaiting Alcaraz and Sinner, Roland Garros announces a record prize pool, increasing it by 9.5%, a double success for Jannik Sinner. This Sunday, the Italian was crowned champion of the Monte Carlo Masters 1000 after defeating Carlos Alcaraz in the final. A huge boost in many ways, as the number 1 ranking was also at stake. With the 1,000 points awarded to the winner, Sinner will overtake Alcaraz in the world rankings this Monday. The rewards are also financial. For his victory in the Principality of Monaco, the player from San Candido will take the largest share of a prize pool exceeding €6 million, €6,128,940. In total, Sinner will earn €974,370, significantly more than his opponent in the final, Alcaraz, who takes home €532,120. With Roland Garros just around the corner, tournament director Amélie Mauresmo has revealed some new features. The main change is the prize pool, which increases by 9.5%, reaching nearly €62 million, the largest in the tournament's history. The clay court season has already begun, and Roland Garros has announced updates for this year's edition, including the prize pool, which has increased by 9.5% to €61,723,000 to be distributed among all participants. This prize pool particularly benefits players in the qualifying rounds and early stages of the tournament. The winner will receive €2,800,000, compared to €2,550,000 last year. Latest update on Carlos Alcaraz, cancels training in Barcelona due to wrist issue. Although he had reserved a court from 12 o'clock to 1400 hours, local time, to prepare for his round of 16 match at the Barcelona Open Bank Sabadell against Czech player Thomas Machac, Carlos Alcaraz ultimately chose to stay at the hotel for physiotherapy to treat his right wrist discomfort. The world number 2 had to request medical assistance during his debut match on Tuesday against Finland's Otto Virtanen, 6-4, 6-2, due to wrist pain. He decided not to overload the area ahead of Thursday's match against Machac, ranked 47th in the ATP standings. Alcaraz initially downplayed the issue, saying after his opening match in Barcelona that it was a recurring discomfort without major consequences, attributing it to the heavy workload on clay, one of the most physically demanding surfaces. Thus, the two-time Godó champion, 2022 and 2023, did not train in Barcelona, just as he didn't on Monday after arriving following his loss in the Monte Carlo final to Jannik Sinner. Carlos Alcaraz raises concerns at the Conde de Godó with a wrist issue. The Spaniard reached the round of 16 but did so with poor sensations. He struggled to close out the first set against Otto Virtanen, ranked 130th, and raised alarms when he requested medical assistance at 5-4 in the first set. Something in his right arm was preventing him from returning comfortably, and the Finnish player began to trouble him more and more. After receiving treatment and quickly covering the bandage with a wristband, Alcaraz finally broke his opponent's serve to take the first set. The second set was different, but he still didn't look entirely comfortable, showing inconsistency at times, such as when he allowed Virtanen to recover a break. Fortunately, Virtanen ran out of energy and began making errors, handing the victory to the Spaniard, who sealed his place in the next round. He then had 48 hours to rest and recover from discomfort that needed further evaluation to prevent it from worsening before facing Czech player Thomas Machac in the next round. Carlos Alcaraz explains his discomfort at the Conde de Godó. Alcaraz didn't hesitate to explain what happened after the first set. Asked about the possible injury, he said, "These are discomforts that come up. I've played many matches in a short time, with little rest between them. Coming here, with travel and limited preparation, always leads to small issues that need to be managed carefully. I'll meet with my team and physio afterward, but I believe it's nothing serious and that I'll be able to play on Thursday." Will Carlos Alcaraz push himself to return to world number one? After his debut, the question is inevitable: will he push himself if the discomfort continues? The Spaniard made it clear why he came to Barcelona this year. "I've seen that I need to win the tournament here if I want to regain number one. The battle for number one between Jannik and me is very exciting and probably an extra motivation to win here." However, he emphasized that ranking is not his main goal, but rather to stay on the path and keep improving to become more competitive. He also expressed admiration for Sinner, who serves as a benchmark for his development. "He's one of the players who makes me realize my weaknesses and helps me improve every day." Following his impressive debut against Jaume Munar, 6-1, 6-2, Rafa Jodar will take center stage this Wednesday, 1600 hours, in the first of the two round of 16 match days at the Barcelona Open Bank Sabadell Trofeo Conde de Godó. Karen Khachanov, world number 14, was supposed to be his opponent, but the Russian was far from his best level and lost, 6-3, 6-4, to Camilo Ugo Carabelli, number 64, who will now face the Madrid-born player, aged 19. Jodar recently crushed the Argentine in the Marrakesh semifinals, 6-2, 6-1, on the way to his first ATP title. "I don't set expectations myself. What I have to do is focus on myself. There will be expectations, but I'll try to focus on my own game. I'm still the same person whether I win or lose. I'll try not to think too much about expectations," said Jodar. "I don't put any pressure or objectives on myself. You have to go step by step, and I have to follow my path without comparing myself to anyone. I shouldn't put extra pressure on myself because that leads nowhere. I feel very good and everything is happening very fast, but I still have a lot of room for improvement," added Rafa, now ranked number 55 in the world and rising rapidly. A year ago, he was number 911. The remarkable rise of the Madrid player on the ATP circuit has not gone unnoticed, not even by the leading figure of Spanish tennis, Carlos Alcaraz, who has also praised his compatriot's emergence at such a young age. "For me, Rafa is a great player. I've been following him and I think he entered the circuit very quickly. He had the opportunity to be a sparring partner in the Davis Cup, and I was able to train with him and see what he was capable of," said Alcaraz in the press room at the Godó Trophy. "Then in Australia this year, I played a practice set with him and saw even more of his level. What he has achieved from Australia until now has been impressive. I'm very happy for him because he seems like an exceptional guy both on and off the court, with incredible values. And above all, he is very calm. I wish him all the best. Whenever he plays well or gets a good result, I try to congratulate him," added the Mercian. "I think it also helps him to have very young players of his age breaking into the circuit as well, like Martin Landalus, who for me is also an impressive player. I had the chance to train with him before going to Monte Carlo. The two of them will help each other improve and keep progressing. They have a great future," he concluded. Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz will look to maintain their dominance in Grand Slams next month at Roland Garros, where they headline a strong list of participants for the clay court tournament. Both starred in one of the matches of the century in last year's Paris final, after Alcaraz saved 3 match points on his way to a memorable fifth-set comeback. Together, Alcaraz and Sinner have won the last 9 Grand Slam titles, including Alcaraz's victory at the Australian Open in January, when the 22-year-old became the youngest man to complete the career Grand Slam. Sinner will try to match that achievement by winning all 4 Grand Slams at least once, with Roland Garros being the only title missing from his resume. Alexander Zverev, runner-up in 2024, and Novak Djokovic, a 3-time champion, are also among the participants in the 2026 edition of the clay court tournament.